How is everyone? Doing well? Let's see. Miriam, how's Berlin? I'm always curious about Berlin. You know, I went there, well, the first time a very long time ago. I actually went there through Checkpoint Charlie. I hitchhiked from Munich to Berlin, and we went through Checkpoint Charlie many years ago. And then I was back in Berlin a couple of times in about 8 years ago. Got some friends there. Beautiful. It's a wonderful city.
Oh, it's a fantastic city. I love it. So you got to see both sides.
You mean both East and West, you mean? Or what do you mean?
Yes, because if you were there when the wall was there.
Absolutely. I saw both sides. I saw, for me, you know, a teenage American going into communism was this adventure. You know, you're almost afraid you won't get back out. I went into Berlin and took the subway out to a suburb to just take a look around, see the people walking, and just spent the day. I think I went to a museum or a couple historic sites and then came back. But I mean, I went alone. Now, first I can't remember. Actually, it's an interesting linguistic anecdote. I was hitchhiking, and a German truck driver picked me up. He had a big truck, a semi, we call him, a lorry, huge. And he could not speak a word of English, and I could not speak a word of German. But it was interesting how the language barrier was actually a bond, because we kept doing sign language, and somehow, and we really got into it. We were really talking about all kinds of things, and it was very hard, but you could tell that there was this will. And you know what? So we crossed the border into Eastern Germany, and then that's where you go through Checkpoint Charlie, right? And then we arrived in Berlin, and he insisted on finding the youth hostel and taking me to the door. And he parked his huge semi in front of the youth hostel and walked me to the door to make sure that I would get there. And it's really interesting. And I have a sort of a parallel anecdote where years later I was hitchhiking in the UK, and I got a ride with a truck driver from London to Edinburgh, and he was a Scot, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. And you know, I was maybe I was not that used to foreign accents, so pretty young, but he had a very strong accent, and as a truck driver, he was working class, which means his accent's probably stronger. And he kept saying things, and I ended up just smiling, saying, because I just got so tired of asking him to repeat, and we actually had not much conversation at all, even though supposedly we spoke the same language.